Here has just
Oh
said,
wow! Oh my God, Matthias de Ligt again, man. This club, man.
Man United is seriously considering a move for Matthias de Ligt from Bayern Munich. No clubs talks yet, but certainly the move may happen. But Bayern Munich centre-back increasingly viable option for Manchester United, independent of ongoing Branthwaite interest. But he's tall. You want a tall player, Staffy?
Yeah, but he's slow as fuck. He's a Dutch Maguire. I don't want him, man. I'm tired of this guy. He's one of the most overhyped players I've ever seen in football.
Lawless, you know, that objectivity went straight away. It's gone.
Bro, because
someone said that in the chat. You got no objectivity when it comes to Man United. When it comes to Chelsea, yeah, they're good. Man United is like,
how am I not being objective? He's not what we need. This guy's been a failure since he left Ajax. One of the most overhyped teams, by the way, in history, because everyone who left that team pretty much failed, bar, what's his name, De Jong, who kind of stayed still. He didn't regress, but he stayed still. Everyone else regressed. The guy got benched by Eric Dyer last season and got benched by Kim Min-jae, was a flop at Juventus, and people want him because he played Ajax football, and he was like, bro, he doesn't even get his national team, bro. Why are we getting this guy, man? I've had enough of this club. So even that one Friday where I'm like, you know what, today I'm not going to be pissed about United. I'm just going to speak objectively. We go for the Dutch Maguire, bro.
How can you be angry at a report? You don't know it's happening. You don't
because
know
we've been reporting with this guy for a hot minute now, bro. Watch, we're going to get him. We're going to get him 100%.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. When Ornstein tweets about something or mentions it, this is my theory on David Ornstein, what he's become. And this is all, by the way, a positive about him. He doesn't need, a lot of journalists, they have to mention things in the early stages so they get traction and build their name up. But when you mention things early, you get more wrong in the eyes of the fans because lots can change. Ornstein's got to a point where I don't think he mentions it until it's so far down the road that it's likely to happen. Does that make sense? So typically speaking, when Ornstein says something, it ends up happening. So look, I'm not that disappointed.
It's a horrible
signing. I quite like him. I've always quite liked him.
What are we talking about? What's the price? Before we say it's a horrible signing.
Probably going to be like 30, 40 million. Something like that.
I don't know yet. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's I would say that 30, 40 million mark would probably be about right. But I'm just not against it. I quite like it, bruv.
This guy went to Juventus. They sold Bonucci when he went there years ago. He was so shit that they signed Bonucci again after they sold him. Goes to Bayern after doing nothing with Juventus, and he was a part of their downfall team. Goes to Bayern, gets benched within 2-3 years by Eric Dyer and Kim Min-jae. We were trying to get Kim Min-jae, and he benched him. So we're getting the guy who got benched by the guy who we didn't sign, and people want me to be happy about it. Honestly, it's a joke. He doesn't get ahead of what's his name from Inter Milan, De Vrij and Aki, and this guy's been a captain of the Ajax team since he was like 16, and you still can't get in your national team.
Is he an upgrade on what he's got?
Wallah, he's not better than Maguire. I've said this before. Maguire is a better player than him. I swear to God, Maguire is better than him. I'd rather have Maguire than this guy.
Interesting.
I'm pissed, man. Just end the stream. And not to mention, it's another Ajax signing. Oh my God, man.
But maybe he's finally going to play the Ajax way next season. We're going to see some Ajax ball, and it will work out.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I would say. Again, I understand where Staffy's coming from. I do, and I'm not saying I'm gonna play the objective side here. So I don't think. I'm not as big a hater on De Ligt. I think De Ligt's biggest issue, like a number of those players you mentioned, and I've seen players outside of Ajax do this. I think João Felix left Benfica too early. I think Renato Sanchez left. I want to say it was Benfica as well. But it was either Benfica or Port, whatever club he was at. He left too early. I sometimes think these young players move too soon. They move too soon. And although people get it's just football, you're talking about emigrating, leaving your friends and family, typically speaking, behind, because you're normally not married at that point and settled, when you're basically a child still, and you're going into a bear pit. And some people, they thrive in that. But for a lot of young people, some young people struggle moving out of their mum and dad's home and going to uni 30 miles away. right? And again, that's where I will defend the Lit. The other side of it is this: we have bemoaned that Ten Hag's come in, bought players that you think would fit the style of play that he was typical for, but then hasn't coached it. If we're going to start coaching a more Dutch style, it stands to reason that we're going to want players that have played within those systems before. So that's the objective side, which I'm intrigued about. I do think he's better than Maguire, though. But listen, I do get where Staffy's coming from. Viewers, let us know your thoughts. Ornstein Bomb. De Ligt to Manchester United is on. This is a deal that is on. This is a deal that is active. Wow. What do you make of it, Lawless? What do you make of it, bro?
Yeah, it's an interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, 35, 40 mil. You know, that's a big chunk of change, and it is an area that you need. Like we saw the injuries last season. But yeah, like I said, this new setup that you've got a new director of football and a new process. If you're going to trust it, you got to trust they know what they're doing. Until they prove you wrong, until they prove themselves to be incompetent, you got to go, do you know what? Let's give Ashworth and them, whatever, all the behind the scenes coaching staff, technical directors, let's give them a chance and see if it fits. Like I said, he's got something to prove. He's going to have to prove himself. But I don't think it's as bad as Staffy is making out. Staffy's reacting worse than when he saw.
It's not 2018, Lawless. It's 2024.
You're more angry than when you found out Ten Hag was staying. That's the funny thing.
Because it's a dead signing, bro. Like, I have these players, I have these people that are saying he's a good signing. They probably haven't even seen him since he left Ajax. They just go by reputation. I promise you, in the last 4 or 5 years, he's done nothing in European football better than Harry Maguire. At least Harry Maguire used to perform internationally. There's no point of this. It's just a sideways signing that I hate it because we're going for a player that was hyped up 4 or 5 years ago. We have moved on from 4 or 5 years ago. Why should I trust someone who didn't work out well in Juventus and Bayern? I'm not trying to rediscover players here, bro. I'm not trying to do what Arteta did with Havertz. I'm not Dr. Phil. I don't want to sit there and find out what was wrong with you, trying to find out what's your personality issues. Maybe I can help you heal. I don't care. I do not care. Keep him where he is. Send him back to Ajax. I don't need him. I do not need him. That whole team, no one has done anything. So that whole team failed. This whole team of Ajax failed after that. No one was a hit. As I said, only De Jong, which probably you can argue that had a good career. And I'm going for another one of these. It's just such a sideways move, bro. It's so disappointing to hear this again. While we're moving, everyone's moving forward, we're moving sideways again. Like it's 2018.
Wow. There we go. Do you know what? We need to keep these clips because if he signs and he's a hit, like we need to come back.
Bro, keep them. There's so many clips out there and we never revisit it. Do we need to revisit Rice, by the way?
Can I ask you a question, Staffy? If Man United were linked to Dewsbury Hall, would you have been as positive as you were about Chelsea getting them? You like him? Is that what it is?
He's a good player. See, I don't go by big names. People think I want this shiny toe. I really don't.
It's not big names. It's just, again, I think Dewsbury Hall is good. I'm not changing my stance here. But Dewsbury Hall 4 or 5 years ago, everybody was talking about, oh my God, this guy could be a superstar when he was 2021, when he was first breaking through. His hype's died away. Chelsea are getting him, and you're positive. It's not as though Dewsbury Hall has been. I know that he did well in the Championship. It wasn't as though even in that failing Leicester team, we were all watching him going, fuck, I know Leicester are crap this year, but Dewsbury Hall looked amazing. He looked good. I didn't say he looked bad. I've watched the Lit at Juve. I watched him at Bayern. I don't think he was awful. I agree with you. I've not watched him and gone, bloody hell, look at that performance from that centre-back. I'm not saying that either, but I do get it. You don't like him. You're not a fan, but he makes our team taller. Is that a good thing?
No, because as I said, keep
that's
Maguire.
Got to be at least a positive, man. Come on,
keep Maguire. As I said, just keep Maguire at this point.
He wanted, yeah. Again, I'm not trying to. This is the thing. I'm not trying to spin it. I'm asking questions. It's a podcast. It's about conversations. I've said it 3 or 4 times. I totally get where Staffy is coming from. Terry, behave yourself. You don't defend Nunes the same way. First of all, Nunes is a Liverpool player, not a Man United player. Secondly, I've defended Nunes on many, many, many occasions. Many occasions, I think some of the criticism have been is over the top. However, Nunes is a striker who, in my opinion, misses so many big chances that it will cost Liverpool major titles in the end because you just need them to be taken. So that I think is fair criticism. I've also not sat here and said the Lit is amazing. The Lit is going to be Maldini, or is going to be the reincarnation of Yap Stam at Manchester United. So I've been very fair on both, my friend. Been very, very fair on both.